Okay, so in today's video, I want to just have a little chat about the strange things that dogs eat. You know, they can eat some really random stuff, so stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Alex from Our Pets Health, where my aim is to help you and your dog to live a healthier, happier life. So make sure you're subscribed below if you're not already and that's something that interests you. So what prompted this video is that I was on call the other weekend, and it seemed to be the weekend where just dogs were eating really random stuff. So you know, I had a call from a puppy's owner who had chewed on the remote control and chewed on a battery. Now, thankfully, the battery hadn't burst, they hadn't actually swallowed it, and there was no harm done. But battery acid, you know, it can be really corrosive, so it can cause some really nasty ulcers. And if you swallow a battery, or if they swallow a battery, you know, that could be a normal AA, it could be just a little kind of small cell battery, then that can cause really serious intestinal problems that would need, you know, and it would obviously need to be removed. So, you know, that's something that you know, could have really ended up in an absolute disaster. Thankfully, the puppy was absolutely fine. The other dog had got into somehow the medicine cabinet and eaten his mate's pills. So the other dog was on some heart medication, and yeah, the other dog decided that he was obviously missing out, not getting these tablets every day, and ate a whole load of those. So we had to make the dog sick. You know, the story ended fine. There was no harm done because we were onto it nice and early. But you know, there's definitely the potential if a dog eats medication, you know, human medication or even their own medication, but just gets into a really big stash of it, then, you know, we can get some really serious problems. And certainly when it comes to pet medication, you know, there's a lot better options out there that are palatable, so they're designed to be easy to give to our dogs or to our cats. They're designed to be tasty, you know, and viewed as treats. Now, you know, that doesn't work in every case, but in some animals will find them, you know, really enjoyable. They will view them as a treat, and they'll break in, they'll do their utmost. And I've certainly seen that, you know, many times where dogs have, you know, chewed through the plastic container to get to their treats. So, you know, that was another call. And then the other one was a slightly older puppy that had eaten a sock. Why you do that, I don't know, but they'd swallowed a sock. Again, made the puppy sick. Brought the sock up, no harm done. But anything like that, we certainly see underwear being eaten, different clothes, different, you know, bits of cloth. That can cause real problems. So that can cause something that we call a linear foreign body. That what happens is it kind of gets stretched out in the guts. It then gets stuck. The guts get all bunched up onto that material, and it actually kind of saws its way through the intestine. It can be an absolute disaster. I did have a dog a few months ago that had eaten a bird feeding fat ball that was wrapped in a kind of an elastic mesh. Now, that's exactly what happened. It became stuck. It started to cheese wire its way through the guts. The dog was incredibly sick. We went to surgery. I had to remove about 2 foot of intestine. We then had to place a feeding tube a few days later because she developed a really nasty esophagitis, so a really nasty burning in her esophagus. You know, but against all odds, she did remarkably well, and you know, she went on to make a full recovery. I'll actually leave a link to a video that the local newspaper put together about that. So, you know, if you're interested in that, you know, make sure you check out that. Jessie was a lovely dog, and she's doing fantastically well now. And the owners were very keen to get the word out about the dangers of fat balls and, you know, any kind of mesh and any kind of rubber. A thing that we'll often see that's similar to that is the string that's used to tie a roast joint together. You know, it's obviously very tasty. It gets thrown away, but it's got these lovely meat juices all soaked into it. So, you know, really attractive to dogs. What else do dogs eat? Well, they'll eat stones, they'll eat sticks, they'll eat bones, they'll eat rubber toys, they'll eat, you know, children's toys. You name it, they'll eat it. I've certainly had dogs where you've had to remove kind of 3 lots of stones in separate occasions from their stomach because they're just compulsive stone chewers. And then the only way to stop them doing that really is when they go out, is that they have a basket muzzle on so that they can, you know, still enjoy, they can have a sniff, they can have a pant, they can drink, but they can't eat anything when they're out. And, you know, it might seem like that's an extreme way to prevent that, but if you've had to have abdominal surgery 3 times, then, you know, there's a massive risk with that potentially, and there's also a big expense. So, you know, that's a simple fix. Really, you know, that's my thoughts on this. really the take-home message is that certainly for young dogs especially, you just don't know what they're going to eat, so supervising them is important, just being aware of what's out and about, trying to clear up, keep the floor tidy so that there's nothing that has kind of slipped unnoticed that they then get hold of, keeping your rubbish, keeping your trash away and secure so your dog can't break into it and eat anything there, is also really important. But I'd love to hear from you. I'm sure if you've got a dog, they like chewing on things that really are a little bit strange. You think, why are they doing that? I'd love to hear from you. There's some great stories out there of what dogs have eaten. So yeah, if you can share them with us all in the comments down below, that'd be really useful, just to make people aware that of what kind of things that can be a problem, but also that can be quite entertaining as well, assuming that everything ends happily. But yeah, that's it from me. If you've got any questions, if you've got any comments, then I'd love to hear from you. But until next time, I'm Dr. Alex from Our Pets Health, because they're family.